Hey everyone, it's Lisa with your ActivInspire orientation class. You have made it to Module 3, ActivInspire Basics, which is absolutely fabulous. So let's take a look at Video 1, where we are going to explore the workspace. I have ActivInspire open, and these are the 6 areas we'll be taking a look at: the browser window, the menu, flip chart tabs, page information, main toolbox, which we know we already love, and the trash can. So let's go ahead and get started. In the browser window, we're going to take a look at the browser itself. So mine is hidden right here. See how it pops out when I mouse over it? Let's say that you can't see yours. All you need to do is click View and place a check next to Browser. Maybe you don't want yours to keep peeking out. You want it to stay. You can simply click the pin, and that has now pinned it where it will not keep hiding from us. Right next to the pin is a little square. And in ActivInspire, those little squares mean, hey, I have some other options. So the options on this particular one is to dock it left or right, have it float, or close it. If you accidentally close, don't forget, you can just go to View Browser. Now, while there are various areas in the browser, and I'll just click on each one, you'll notice the name changes at the top each time. For this module with the basics, we're just going to take a look at the page browser, and there'll even be an entire video on the resource browser. So the page browser, which is this first one that just looks like a bunch of pages, basically looks like your PowerPoint slides. You can rearrange, you can scroll through your whole presentation, you can copy and paste, duplicate slides, all those common things. And you'll notice even the slide that I'm on right now, it has a little square. So I can click on it and find out what extra things I can do to that particular card. The second one is the resource browser. I have the shared resources pulled up. If yours looks like this, that just means that you have your resources. So I'm going to click on shared, and let's just take a real quick glance. You'll see that each one that has a plus, if I click the plus, it gives me tons more underneath it. Some of you are probably going, oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. And you have all of these because you completed Module 1. And in Module 1, you registered your professional version of ActivInspire and you downloaded the resource pack. So this just gives you an idea of some of the things that are in there. Every time you see a plus, that means there's even more. So you can imagine if I click on math, here's all the extra things I have for math. And even some of the ones within math have more pluses. So it just goes on and on. And you do have the option of grabbing some of your favorite ones and putting them in your resources if you would like. Okay, now we're going to go to the next section, which is the menu, and I'm going to unpin my browser. And we're going to look at the 3 most common items that you will use in the menu. One is the file, and it has some of those common items that you find on your dashboard when you first open up ActivInspire, such as creating a new flip chart, opening one, opening a recent. You could also send your flip chart by email to someone. You can import, and we've taken a look at some of these already. And you can even export. There are settings that you can adjust. And we're not going to go in detail with these. I just wanted to show you where they are because later on you're going to want to do some of the more advanced features. We also have view, and this is important because sometimes we lose our browser, or maybe we can't find the trash can. So anytime you need to view something, you can find it here. And they also have the page extender, which is absolutely phenomenal for math problems. I'm sure there's other subjects that it's great for, but I know when you're working equations and you almost have enough, the page extender is great. Another item we're going to take a look at is tools. Now, we've referred to our toolbox over here many times, but you can also find tools right here. It's all the same ones, and you'll see that any of them that have a side arrow have extra things we can look at. And then there's more tools. All of these are items that you can use with your ActivInspire flip chart. Don't worry, we'll be covering even more of those later. Now across the top, I have the flip chart tab. So I have one that's open that's called Untitled. I have this one, which is my panel orientation. And then I have a desktop flip chart. So if I want to go in between, I can simply just click the tabs. The one that is dark is the one I'm currently viewing. Page information is right here on the top right. You'll notice that this slide that we're looking at is page 31 of 70. Don't worry, we're not going through 70 slides. But another thing that's right next to it that is handy to realize is this square design mode. See how we can change it? So if it's orange, I can start editing. If it's blue, then I am presenting. So let's say that you're about to start presenting and you realize you have a typo. Click this square, turn it into design mode, which will turn it orange. Fix whatever you need to fix, and then change it back to presentation mode. And now we have the main toolbox. And I just wanted to review something that we had discussed previously, and that is Desktop Annotate. And one of the things we didn't look at in that video was Desktop Tools. So you can click Desktop Tools and it will give you this circle. And I can't explain how many times people have called and said, I lost my ActivInspire. And of course, it would always happen when I was in the middle of teaching something that I thought was extremely important. And the kids were like, yes, she has a phone call. So we look at this and it looks like everything disappeared, just like with Desktop Annotate. You have a circle you have to find, and when you mouse over it, you have all these options. You have your camera, you could get a keyboard, go back to your flip chart, which that's what you actually wanted to do if you hit this accidentally. You can use a screen recorder, and then there's even more tools. So this would be something fun for you to look at. And it's very similar to your Desktop Annotate, except it gives you everything in a circle that you can move around, and it stays real neatly hidden. Some other things about the main toolbox are right along the top. So I can pin the toolbox by clicking on the little pin. I can roll it up. So let's say that maybe you don't want your students to access all of the various tools. You can roll it up and now you can flip through your presentation or they could flip through it. You can unroll it by clicking it again. We have another square, so let's see what the options are. And this one includes the docking with the top, bottom, right, and left. It includes the floating, which is what I'm doing right now, but it has the roll up and roll down, is what I call it. Now the dock bottom is fabulous. I just want to show you how that looks. Let's say that you are vertically challenged. I'm going to raise my hand here. So sometimes it's easier to have your toolbox along the bottom. Or maybe you have the little kids and you need them to have everything right here. Then this is an option for you. Once you have docked it on the bottom, you will need to click the far right. It looks like a person with a pen. And you will see that the profile window pops up. And one of the tabs that you have the option of selecting is Layout. And this is where you can make sure that your main toolbox goes back to the right like it was previously. There's also other cool things that you can look at, but for right now we will just redock our toolbox. Okay, so some other things that you will notice is navigation, where you can flip back and forth in your presentation. You will also notice that these are some colors that you have the option of using, but you can right click and you will have a whole world of colors. You can add custom colors. You have shapes. And you will also notice at the bottom of shapes, we can click the double arrow. What does that mean? There's more shapes. And one thing that is handy is the fact that they have all these arrows. I don't know about you, but I'm a crooked line drawer. So these were fabulous when I was working with graphs. And we have everything from our dotted lines to our straight lines and so on. So again, that is under shape. There is also some cleanup, and I particularly like, I'm going to move the trash can real quick, this spray bottle. I use it all the time. So if I was to write something, so let's just say that I wrote on here, or maybe my little grandson got on and was drawing things because he thought that was cool. Sure, I could erase, but the other option is just to clear the annotations. You'll notice there's other options, such as maybe I have a grid displayed and I want to keep the grid, but I want to erase everything on it. I could do that here, or I could clear the entire page and it would just be a white blank slate. Maybe you did something and you wanted to reset it back to where it had been previously. You can just click the little red arrows. And lastly, another highlight for the main toolbox is authoring, and that's right way up here at the top. It looks kind of like a driver's license. So if you click this, you can switch in between which toolbox you're viewing. So if I select math, it is going to pull up the most common features that a math teacher would use. Sorry, that zoomed everything, so let's just get it back situated again. And you'll notice they're all along the bottom, which typically this would have still stayed right there on the right hand side. And now I have a compass, I have a protractor, all sorts of things. I'm just telling it to go back to the right. So that is a handy tool that you can use, and you can even make your own profile with your favorite tools. So switch between and just see what all they have. Now remember again, these are the tools, but as we previously discussed, you can access every tool by going to the menu bar and clicking Tools. Now lastly is the trash can. Mine's hanging out right here. And anytime you've done something and you want to throw it away, you just click and drag it to the trash can. Reminder, if you're editing, you do need to be in the editing mode. So this will need to be orange in order for you to throw something away. So if you keep trying to drag something and you can't get it to go in the trash can, it's because this needs to be clicked back to orange. Thank you for looking at this video and get ready for the next one. Maybe you could play around with some of these things that we just looked at. Get comfortable with just clicking and moving from one spot to the other, and I will see you in video 2.